All right, Sam. So that little forced to vote conversation and the comments were super fun. But okay, let's move on to our second story. So this caught my eye yesterday, and apparently two police officers who had responded to the Capitol riot have committed suicide since then. So CNN reported that the acting Metropolitan Police Chief has told the House Appropriations Committee that two police officers have died by suicide since responding to the Capitol riot. So Politico actually had the exact quotes from the person. Apparently, I don't know how they obtained it because this was behind closed door, but he says that they took their lives in the aftermath of that battle. So I mean, this is like,
Does it
go ahead.
does it say if these are the police that got run over by the crowd or the police officers that came later on to clean up?
No, it doesn't say it. So it says, okay, it says that apparently two different types of police responded or something like that. And anyway, two types of police each had one of their officers commit suicide. That's all I know when it comes to this. But there really wasn't much information on this out there. That was it. And like my initial thoughts were, I mean, of course, with these officers and their families, and that's horrific. But this should really not be politicized. I mean, there's no proof or no evidence shown that this is in some way related. And this is how it's presented in a way that, oh, perhaps it's related to these riots. But I mean, this is something that should not be done. There's already so much. If you want to impeach Trump, there's already a lot out there. If you can't do it without, no need to start
Oh,
making up stuff and adding it. Now, as I said, we don't know. Maybe this is in some way related, but I think like the first serious thing that should be done is some kind of internal investigation and not politicizing these suicides.
sure. I mean, yeah, I don't see the causal relationship
Yeah.
between the riots and police committing suicide unless there was very extreme circumstances. I have no idea. Maybe they were injured in a significant way.
I
But
don't think
generally
so because
speaking,
yeah.
because from what I understand from statistic, but this may be from a few years ago. This is not something I researched. But suicide among white male, does it say if they're white male or
That's a
African
very
American or
good
anything?
point.
But
It doesn't say.
among middle-aged men, it's growing and it's at all-time highs, I
Yeah.
believe. And suicide among cops, I think even in the UK, is quite high, as well as in
Hmm.
America. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, by the way, this is completely unrelated to riots, but that was not, that just seems, I don't know, I just cannot imagine how that led to that,
No,
but maybe it
exactly.
did, and it's tragedy not, nonetheless.
And I didn't, when I was trying to cut you off, it was because you said maybe there's that with injuries and all that. So I'm just going to mention the injuries. But yeah, I
Oh,
mean, definitely this, a real serious investigation should be carried out here and not politicizing it. But the only other information that came out of this meeting apparently was in Politico. So the officer, so the same chief, this is what he said. He says the Capitol Police Board first denied a request on January 4th for additional support from the National Guard. It wasn't until the building was overrun by the pro Trump mob that the panel relented an hour after another plea was made. So I guess he documented a few requests for extra help that were denied. And he says about 850 police officers responded to the riot, and 65 members were injured in total. And I believe there's been a total of 5 deaths, which still include the woman, two police officers who passed away, I guess, at the riot or the day after due to the injuries, and these two last officers, I guess, due to suicide. But yes, any final thoughts? I mean, impeachment is coming up soon, right? If I'm not mistaken. So that's why this story, I was like, they're trying to make something out of something that is very sad and a very sad story, but probably not related to, I don't know, who knows, to the riot. But yeah,
yeah,
anything
yeah.
on the
It's
impeachments and all that?
to be honest, not really, not at the moment. But I doubt he is going to get impeached. To
Yeah.
be first of all, because I don't think enough Republicans will vote for it, And second of all, yeah, politicians, they use anything to maximize their
Yeah.
pressure on the other side. So I suppose.
I mean, their first impeachment effort was really pathetic and it was stupid. But this one, I can see, who knows, maybe they'll win. Maybe they'll
I
manage to get him
they
impeached.
need I think 10 or 15 senators
Yeah.
to vote. I don't know. I
And
doubt it.
apparently some Republicans already, slowing down with their criticisms of Trump and everything. Time for them to move on in a different way than how the Democrats want to.
It's not a good marketing strategy.
Yeah. But okay, let's keep on talking about the states. But Sam, you have the next story, and which is apparently based on some reports, I'm not sure what, that are saying that maybe the Biden administration has told the Emiratis and the Saudis that that America will not be selling
Well,
weapons to them, which I have a very hard time to believe, of course.
no, this seems to be actually official policy. So
Okay.
this is not some rumor or anything. It was Wall Street Journal
You
reported
believe those
that
guys?
uh, no. I mean, this was
Joking,
I'm
man.
not I can't from the articles I'm reading, I can't say if it was an executive order or something else, but it feels like it was an executive order. But anyway, the news is the Biden administration has paused arms sales to Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates as it conducts a wider review of agreements worth billions of dollars made by the Trump administration. Sources familiar with the matter told CNN. So this I just read that from CNN. Secretary of State Tony Blinken confirmed pending arms sales are under review, as is typical at the start of a new administration. So I like to clarify that we shouldn't make too much out of this. The arms sales. If I was a betting man, I would have bet all I have that the arms sales are gonna go through, because the real government of America is Lockheed Martin, not and Boeing, not the administration. But he said to make sure that what is being considered is something that advances our strategic objectives and advances our foreign policy. So I think this is a typical,
Procedural?
news that politicians put out there to improve their standing, improve their brand, improve their popularity. But I doubt it's going to lead to actual, maybe something gets delayed or something. But I think
Yeah.
the weapons are going to be sold.
I mean, Trump has already made all these promises to them too, in addition to that. I mean, behind the deals, making the deals with Israel and all that, was the thought that they could buy more
Not so
weapons.
much behind the doors, even just like literally in
Yeah.
open. Yeah.
That was right up there. But we shall see. I haven't. Yeah, I haven't. Have you read much about his foreign policy? I mean, we all kind of know what Biden and that kind of ideology that's behind him, what they want to do. But anything specific about his foreign policy that you've read or heard that's caught your attention?
So far, he's putting a lot of people from Obama's team that negotiated the Iran deal. A lot of those people are being put in place. The new head of CIA is one of them. Tony Blinken was a big part of Iran nuclear deal. However, this should not be mistaken. I don't want to give the impression that they are doves. Tony Blinken, I think, was one of the people who pushed for the Libyan intervention, which led to one of the worst cases of failed states we've seen in recent years, up there with Syria and Iraq. And generally speaking, they're your typical good imperial managers, as I think as Gore Vidal would have probably put it. Competent strategic managers. They're not gonna change things, and I think they're generally more concerned with China than they are with Middle East, so to speak. But yeah, and by the way, they for now they're talking both sides of their mouth. One
Yeah.
day they're positive about the Iran nuclear deal and coming back. Another day they're a bit more negative about it. So who knows? Who knows? Very much. What we should expect, to be honest, is complete continuation of Obama's foreign policy in a way.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And well, you were just mentioning these people, but and I saw that John Kerry though he has a new assignment now. He's on the climate change climate change team.
Probably the most useless job in the government.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would really be interested for some kind of analysis, whether if it's scientific or not even scientific, maybe some reporting that shows so what was the damage caused by Donald Trump removing the United States from the Paris Agreement? So what damage that really caused? Did
I,
it change anything in any way, especially that now they're back, you know?
I think it may have caused some damage, but to be honest, the worst thing he did was the deregulation of chemicals and waste that led to some companies dumping their the reduction
Yeah.
of testing, that type of thing. I think those damages are far more uh, far-reaching, really.
No,
But I
100%.
would imagine there, like probably some projects that could have started earlier because of Paris Agreement or something, they've been delayed, that type of thing. Again, yeah, that's a good point. We should look into reports on that.